Hey, honey?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Geeky Grind. So before I hop into what I'm going to show you for what I've been working on and everything like that, I just want to talk about how I'm changing the focus of Geeky Grind. Instead of it being like painting videos all the time like I did before for the earlier episodes, I've decided that this is basically going to be a hobby vlog for a little bit. Just because, you know, I was up in Maine and I competed in a tournament. I entered into some painting contests, and I realized just how not the best my painting schemes are. How there's a lot of areas where I can still grow, and there's a lot of growth to be made. So for a little bit, I'm going to scale back. I'm really going to work on painting, not having to do painting and camera work, because it really does, it's a lot more involved, and it's a lot harder for me to be able to focus on improving my skills while I'm painting. So I'm going to hold off on some painting videos for a while, but I am going to basically do a weekly, these are new models I got my hands on, or this is what I've been working on, and show you each of these projects as I'm going through, and kind of use this as a little bit of hobby motivation in order to keep me from basically, you know, having a huge pile of shame and not getting stuff done, not getting stuff painted. So I'm going to show you what I've been working on and what I'm planning on doing with everything, and hopefully, you know, we'll tune in next week and you can see how far I've gotten with this, and we can go along this hobby journey together. So I'm hoping you're enjoying the new version, and the videos are probably going to be a bit shorter, so that's a bonus. Okay, so here on the hobby desk, you'll see some new boxes. I got my Castigator for my sister's Seraphim squad that I'm actually going to make as a Zephyrim squad. And of course, the Arks Omen Grand Tournament pack, those all came in this week. From the Warhammer magazine issues, I've got the ruins all put together. I still have the 6 blade guards unpainted yet. I got the Cataphon breachers put together. I got this one that I put together before I went to Maine. He's been painted, he's been primed, so he's got his black base coat, his zenathal highlight put on. So does the tech priest. He's all sitting here on my painting handle, ready to be the first one with some paint put on. The pipes from Imperium magazine are all put together, and I got, basically I've got one of the two sets of the Chainbreaker Lance, because remember I bought 2 of the armature kits and a knight kit, well, bought / got used store credit combination for those. And the other one, the Questoris Series Knight, is still on sprue, gonna get put together, but I've got 4 armatures, Questor Knight, all built up into sub-assemblies. The bases are all done. The bits for the bases are actually left over from my Chalnath box and my Nakmund terrain set boxes. I just use all the extra terrain bits that come in those boxes, saved those out, glued them onto the bases, so it looks like some ruined buildings sitting there. And all of the other bits are here, cleaned up and put together into sub-assemblies so I can do magnetization. I really like having all my knights magnetized, so I can swap out weapons, loadouts, and don't end up having to buy whole new kits in order to do that. So I have enough to be able to make 6 and 2 combinations of either the warglaves or the helverins, because I had enough the spare arms and weapon loadouts from buying those 2 armature kits to be able to customize to make 6 variants and 2 that are going to be locked in because I don't have enough to make them all armatures or all warglaves. Because again, Chainbreaker Lance, you only got 2 of the warglaive spurs and 2 of the Helvern spurs. So everything for those is all cleaned up and done together. You can see that there are some cockpits, more than just the 8, more than just the 4 that go with that section 8, all put together. Because I've got these Helverns sitting over here, getting the legs all set up for sub-assemblies along with the weapons. That's not all this extra bits that still need to be put together. You can hardly see them against this silver backdrop, but they're all sitting there ready to be assembled up to sub-assembly stage. So once I get those done, once I get the last 4 done, then I'm going to start magnetizing everything. Just to show off, this is a knight that I built last year. Paint job, again, not the best. I did this with brush on, contrast paint over silver base coat. The magnets, again, this was my first attempt, so they're not really sitting exactly fully. Yeah, it falls apart. Hang on. Yeah, that's an issue I have with it falling apart because I didn't get a lot of the magnets fully flush and set just right, so it does like to pop apart when I move it around, so I gotta be careful with it on the tabletop. Although I am proud, from a distance it looks really good. You don't see a lot of the splotchiness of the armor panels like you come up here. To fix that, I'm planning on doing some weathering effects. Just taking a sponge and stippling in some silver and then giving like a little black line so you can see the primer where all the paint's been chipped off and scratches and stuff like that. I love the idea of having the mask sit down here on the ground. I think I referenced that before last time I showed off the knight. It's actually a homage to Heavy Arms from the Gundam Wing Endless Waltz movie, and the pilot is actually Kit Bash from some Sisters bits. She's got a novitiate standard and a resin head from an alternative rhino sculpt. So I did her up with a little bit of like a black, gold, and Bloody Rose red color scheme. So I'm pretty proud she came out. And of course the base is also done up with those spare Nachmund terrain pieces that I had floating around from building that kit. But yeah, that is what I'm working on. So my plan is by next week I will be showing off some fully magnetized armatures and a fully magnetized knight. I know I need to wait for some magnets to be arrived from Amazon because I had to order. Well, I had to ask the lovely Laura to order them for me because she's got the Prime. I got some more magnets coming so I can start magnetizing everything. I want to get it to the point where it's all ready to be magnetized and put together. And hopefully next weekend you'll see some magnetized knights. All of this gray plastic that you saw in this episode should all be nice and primer coated. Got the Zenathal on, and I can start working on painting. And yeah, and hopefully, because I definitely will have the other Questoris nice ready to go. That one I'm actually going to build as Canifest Rex. I'm also going to magnetize the guns on him. I can always swap out the weapon systems and use him as a third knight if I don't want to use him just as the preceptor version. And I plan on I have to have those sisters units done before I head to Maine because I'm going to run my sisters again up there for the March tournament. It's going to be the same list as I ran last time. I can't remember if I actually showed off the list I ran last time. Maybe we'll cover that. We'll cover the list I'm going to run in the next tournament in a future episode once I get all that stuff built and painted and showing off. But it's basically those 2 units I'm building, along with a Rhino, 2 units of Repentia, 2 Battle Sister Squads, my Sister's Novitiate, Smash Donna, which is basically the Dogmata with the Fights Better prayer, and also the Chaplet Sacrifice. Then I've got my Smash, what's the Canoness, and Mornval, and 10 Brick Sisters of Retributor Squad. So yeah, it's this tournament we're playing up in Maine in March is 1,750 point. No, 150. 1,500 points, because we played at 1,250. Yeah, 1,250 points last time. We're doing a slow little progression thing where every time we do a tournament, we're doing it like every 3 months, and every time we run the tournament, we're adding another 250 points into it. So I kind of want to stick with the same army, see what I can do as I progress up that points ladder. Definitely know that there's probably going to be some more Repentia going into that in the future. Probably a second squad of Retributors, because I got my Melted Sister squad, but I've also got enough Flamers that I can put together a Flame Retributor squad, which that'd be kind of cool. You know, drop that sucker in from reserves with the new Grand Tournament pack. Just be like, sisters with heavy flamers coming in from reserve, gonna flame you off the board. Probably be able to play my Immolator in that with the Multimeltas. Now I got some ideas for how I'm gonna run this, but yeah, no, that's basically everything I got really to cover. Oh, one more thing. You can see that the Box of Shame sticker has moved to the Battle Zone Fronteras Nakman box, because the Sisters Combat Patrol box has starting to run out of room for all of those Necron units. So that sucker's going to be the new box. Hopefully we've got enough room in that to finish out the Imperium magazine. And, you know, again, once all the Imperium issues are out, which should be, I believe, November or October, it's time to build a Necron's army in a week. And, yeah, so I'm hoping all this practice is going to get me ready for it. Definitely with the painting these knights, I'm going to start breaking out the airbrush, start working on those skills, so I can get that smoother, nicer finish of my paints, instead of having that splotchiness by using the brush on those big flat panels. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing a lot of sub-assemblies, and I'm not putting everything completely 100% together until after I get the painting jobs done, so I can, you know, not get overspray onto stuff that's not supposed to be spray painted that way. But yeah. All right, tune in next week and find out what I've got finished out of this. And if place your bets. What do you think is still going to be unpainted primer coat only, or is probably just going to be still gray for next week? If you like this style, you know, definitely give the like, give the share, hit that subscribe button, do all those things to let YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. And yeah, we'll see you Tuesday. Me and Laura will see you Tuesday for a recipe roulette. Peace. By the way, I think we're making coffee cake.